mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with daring and destiny.
What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Hope that you're doing well on this evening. Make sure that you subscribe, like, share, because we are broadcasting live on multiple platforms. But make sure that you subscribe to Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron on YouTube, as we are bridging the gap and continuing to change these narratives. We're telling our own stories. We are taking, we are no longer going to beg people to tell the stories. We're telling it as long as we have these platforms. And so something very interesting happened recently when I was in Ghana, and this was a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I was at a I guess a resort near Takoradi, and I'm going with the flow. That's the best way to say this. I'm simply going with the flow, and I've been going with the flow for the past few years now. When I first stepped foot in Ghana, I didn't know what was on the other side of it. I just knew I was supposed to go. So we just wrapped up 4 successful tours this summer during a pandemic. I continue to, even last year when they opened the borders again, I knew I was supposed to go. I knew that I was not supposed to wait a year and then get the momentum going. It was just instinctive to say, get this momentum going in 2020. So I decided to go back to the continent in November. So I went to Tanzania, and then I went to Cote d'Ivoire, then I went back to Ghana. And one of the reasons why Ghana was the first, so that was my first African country, and I waited all of my life to go, and Ghana treated me well, as all of the countries have. Every country I've been in has treated me exceptionally well. So, and it went back, this is what really makes this very interesting. It went back to a conversation, and for those who have been following my journey over the past, say, 10 years or so, about 5 years ago, I was doing this Uber experiment thing. This is where a random conversation with my Uber driver turned into an experiment. And as I went through this whole experiment with Uber to see if I could come up with $19,000 in a month, I just started meeting all of these fascinating people along the way. And I kept meeting people from Africa, and they were nothing like what I thought, So met a young lady from Ethiopia, and she schooled me on Ethiopia. That was the bottom line. And I felt so misinformed, so uneducated. And it was the seed that was planted, the curiosity about the continent. Then I met people from Zimbabwe and South Africa and just, all these different places. So finally, that was 2016. 2017 rolled by. 2018, I said, I don't know what I'm waiting for. When is this going to happen? I'm going to be whatever age by the time I go. I decided I was going to go that year, and I'm so glad I did. So anyway, fast forward, 2019, Kilimanjaro, did all of that. And every day of my life, I would think about my trip to Ghana in 2018. Every day after I went, I would think about the trip. I would think about Ghana in some capacity and how misinformed I was about it. So 2020 goes by, 2021. I said, well, you know what? We're going to push through this, and we're going to still go. So here's what happened. I went with Sierra Leone. So all these countries. I didn't plan to go to Sierra Leone this year. I didn't plan to get dual citizenship. I didn't plan to get this passport from Sierra Leone this year. And this, I didn't plan for that. None of this. I planned for. But when it came up and I had the verification that I was a descendant from Sierra Leone, and that's the wonderful thing about being a part of the African diaspora, or descendant of the European transatlantic slave trade, is that we are melting pot. Most of us are melting pot, genetic melting pot of most of West Africa. So really, we could lay claim to most of West Africa. I mean, I got Senegal, I the Gambia, and even though these countries and borders were made up, I have DNA from from the Senegal region into Mali, into Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, obviously Sierra Leone, Ghana, Togo, Benin, a whole lot of Nigeria, a whole lot of Cameroon, Congo, down in the Gabon, Angola, and even in the southern Africa and over into Kenya. So with that said, when that opportunity came, of course, I was going to go and get the citizenship, the dual citizenship in Sierra Leone. So I'm just going with the flow of all of this. And then I went to South Africa. And when I went to South Africa, that's when I sat down with the Blantons, in particular, Mark Blanton from the Real South Africa. Shout out to them. Great job with what they're doing down in South Africa and bringing so many people over. And met them last year, right before the pandemic, at a travel show. See, this is where when you just start flowing where the lane you're supposed to go in, it just you can't script it, you can't put it together, you just go with the flow. So all right, so I did an interview with them on their channel, Real South Africa. And then I started, and I had a YouTube channel, wasn't really thinking about it. It was just kind of sitting there. It's just kind of there. Just kind of, okay, yeah, YouTube. And, oh, okay, cool. But then something happened when I saw what that interview did and how many people came to start paying attention to what I was doing with Maximum Impact in Ghana and the different countries that we service. I said, wait a minute, this YouTube thing is kind of deep. And I'd never thought I'd hear me, oh, I'm trying to do YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. But then it clicked. And when it clicked, I said, you know what? What I do is not domestic, meaning United States domestic only, because there's an audience in all throughout Africa, all throughout the African diaspora in the UK, in Australia, in Canada, down in South America, all throughout in the Caribbean. I said, this is bigger than just me putting up a couple videos here and there. I said, I know it's important for me to bridge the gap. And that's the gap that we have between Africa and the African diaspora. And the diaspora are those who have been dispersed throughout the world, but they descend from Africa. And 9 times out of 10, they're coming from one of those slave trades, whether it be Arab slave trade or transatlantic slave trade. And so I said, okay, let's step this up and let's really, put out the different pieces of content about, telling these stories. So I started talking about Darren and Destiny, the adventures of Darren and Destiny. I never thought I'd be a children's book author. That was not a part of, that wasn't even in my in my radar, to be writing children's books. And so I said, okay, I'm going with the flow. We're writing children's books. We're doing what we need to do. And then I knew I was going to be in Ghana pretty much all summer. Said I wasn't going to do my summer camp. My summer camp was pretty much going to be leading people to Ghana. And I spent better part of 3 months in Ghana. But then what started happening is people started seeing what I'm doing as far as helping people from the African diaspora understand how we've been misled about Africa, whether I'm in Zanzibar, I'm out looking for dolphins in Zanzibar, whether I'm down at Sandon Mall in South Africa, whether I'm in the Gambi village in Benin, or if I'm, cutting up in Cote d'Ivoire, or if I'm with the Timini people in Sierra Leone, wherever I am, people can see that there's this thing where I want to showcase and not try to change anything about what people are doing, but to try to show the humanity of the people and to try to spotlight their brilliance, because I recognize how warped I've been trained in the Western world, and how my worldview was from that perspective, and not understanding that everybody does not see it and do it the way that I've been trained to do it. And even the way that I've been trained to do it has some other stuff added to it. So I go to Ghana, I'm going with the flow, and then just start interviewing, just people just start, hey, we want to connect you with this person. So sit down with Reggie Rockstone and Dr. Zilla. And I'm looking at this and I'm watching this whole thing come together. And then an interesting thing started happening. I was in the mall, in Accra Mall, and two guys came up to me say the same day at two different times. They said, I was just watching you on YouTube. I was just watching what you said. And I'm like, wait a minute now. I don't have 1 million followers. I don't think anywhere near 1 million subscribers. I said, what's going on here? And so this happened in Accra Mall 3 times like that. 3 times like that. And I'm saying at different times. And it would always come in twos. I don't know, for people who are into, I don't know what twos mean. Y'all help break that down for brother. Then, so that happened in Accra at least 6 times, 6 meaning 6 different people. So then I go up to the north because I'm exploring Ghana and see what's going on. And it happens in Tamale. And I said, okay, here's something. Something's happening here. I go to Kumasi. It happens in Kumasi. I'm in Cape Coast. It happens in Cape Coast twice. So then this is how it all comes back to Wode Maya. We had been corresponding on Instagram because folks on my page, you and Wode Maya need to hook up. I mean, y'all got a similar message and this is what's going on. So I said, cool. All right, well, let me reach out to him and see what's going on. So we were just corresponding on IG. What happened was when Ron and Wale, when we were out to lunch one day, and we got our dual citizenship in Sierra Leone. So the 2 brothers' interview I did with them, we went Sierra Leone, and so we met in Ghana. So everybody's like, what's up with Ghana? Ghana's just real chill. That's all. Ghana's not better or worse than any other place. It's just really a great balancing point. So I sent Ron was like, hey, that Wode Maya, man, he's really in Ron is, I think, 64. I think that's what he's 63, 64. And he was just like really passionate about Wode Maya. So I'm venturing to think there's probably close to 40-year age difference here. But Wode, he's able to influence this gentleman that is basically 2 generations older than him. So what I did, I took the video and I said, hey, Ron, I said, just talk to him. I said, we've been corresponding. So here's the video, I'll send it to him. And that was that. So shot the video, sent it to him. I didn't hear anything. Now you got to understand, Wode Maya has close to 1 million YouTube subscribers. I can imagine, I know my inbox is insane. So I can only imagine what his inbox is like. And I could only imagine. So I was doing some exploration, and so my team set it up to go out to a spot outside of Takoradi, a resort, because I said, well, some people may want to stay in Ghana longer. Where else can we take them? I want to make sure that we really cover the territory here in Ghana, because there's so much to do in Ghana. It's not just going to the traditional spots. There's so many places to go. So and this was my words right after the last tour for August. I said, I don't even know where I'm going. I said, I'm just going to go with the flow, and got on the plane, flew to Takoradi. I don't even know what Takoradi is. I don't know. I'm just here. That's what I said. Had nothing. No, it was just going with the flow. So get off the plane, riding out to the resort, get to the resort. And again, still just going with the flow. Still just, I'm here. I was really kind of tired, so I was looking forward to kind of like the resort vibe. And as soon as I walk in, I mean, literally, as soon as I walk in, I look over and I said, that looks like Wode Maya. I said, he either has a twin Oh, I'm tripping. I said, maybe I'm seeing things. I don't know what's going on. So I looked and and then I heard his voice. And then I look at him, he looks at me, and he kind of looks at me like wait a minute, this guy looks familiar. But I'm walking up to him like, we've been old friends for for the past 20 years. And so then what I did, I said, hey, I said, listen, did you get the message that I said, man, did you see what I sent you? And he was like, let me tell you. He said, man, I get so many messages. I said, cool. I said, don't worry. I said, let me show you. And so when I showed him the video of Ron and Wale, and he heard this gentleman, I guess, he could tell probably maybe close to 40 years his senior, he was like, oh, wow. And I told him, I said, you're really impacting people generations. I said, that's the deal. So I guess when I said that and he saw the video, he signaled to his guy he said, get the camera. So when he said, get the camera, I was like, oh, okay. Okay, it's about to go down like this. All right, cool. Well, let's rock with it. Anytime that happens, you check yourself. Okay, what am I wearing? Okay, am I good? I was gonna get my hair cut. I said, you going through all types of, that's just how it is. I had on my Black Wall Street shirt, courtesy of Citywide Promotions. So shout out to them if you want to get that shirt. Go to Citywide promotions.com and you can order the shirt from them. And so I said, well, so when that happened, he was doing his thing, and so before you know it, we were talking. I was like, okay, this is how this happens. Now, and the reason why this is important is because we're bridging the gap. So he was telling me, he's like, look, I'm a village boy from Takoradi, and I'm from around the way in DC by way of Gullah Geechee, Charleston, South Carolina. That's so this is the gap that's being bridged in this moment. And we're also bridging a generational gap. And so I'm looking at this and I'm saying, now, isn't this something? I said, we couldn't have scripted this moment right here for whatever reason, because what our goal is to be able to show that that we're not all divided and all of that. So if you look at the interview, so what happened, he interviewed me first. And I almost, and this is what was the funny part about it, he interviewed me first, and I almost said, well, all right, man, cool. And then it clicked. I said, let me interview you. So I ran to my bag. I said, because my setup, I got like a full studio in my bag, in my so I could do a whole lot of different things. But at this point I knew I just needed to capture it. And so we talked about his experience and what he didn't know and what he learned through his educational experience and all of that. And in that moment, it was like, wow, this is, I mean, again, I'm going back to, I'm talking to Reggie Rockstone, the grandpapa, the legend, he's like the Chuck Brown of Ghana hip life music, so he's, and I'm going back through this whole deal. And then I got some other interviews coming down the pike when I get back to Ghana with some other heavy hitters along the way. And I said, now, who would have known? And what if I was afraid to go with the flow? And I think that's the biggest thing for so many people. They're afraid to go with the flow because they can't see what's on the other side. What I've learned, don't worry about what's on the other side. Just go with it. And so first I want to welcome all of the new subscribers that have come on board as a result of what Maya encouraging you to subscribe and to be a part of the experience here over Maximum Impact. We desire to continue to bridge the gap and give you great content. We have so many things coming down the pike that we're going to be looking forward to sharing with everyone, and want to encourage you to tell your friends to subscribe and share and like and let people know what's going on here with Maximum Impact. My vibe is a little more old school, if you will, but I'm still a clown. And that's been my vibe for the past 40 some odd years. So even when I was a teenager, I was still old school. I enjoy, I'm a free spirit. I enjoy life. I enjoy people. Although I grew up an only child, that's why I'm able to travel so much. You know, I don't need a crowd. I don't need, I'm actually a very private person, but on a public platform. So I'm very particular about what I share on social media. Social media has its place in my life. I don't put all of my life on social media. So some people want you to put all your life and want to know all your business. You won't know all my life and all my business on social media. Just to kind of let you know, I'm a straight shooter. I tell it how it is, but I have no problem explaining to you why, you know, from the perspective. I'm not one who really deals with trolls, so I'm not that type of person. You know, we'll delete a comment or whatever. But what we try to do is to make sure that the information that we're disseminating is information that will empower and inspire. And we cover a lot of different topics. So that's the deal. So that's how it all came together. Amazed, you know, the interview dropped. The link is below where you have a chance to see the interview I did with him. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you have an opportunity to see the interview you see the interview he did with me in the description. And then you'll have an opportunity, if you scroll down, if you're watching on Facebook, just hop over to Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron on YouTube, and you'll have a chance to see the interview I did with him. And so it's and I do look forward to doing more collaborations with him, because both were very quick. We were kind of moving fast. And so that was, but nevertheless, you know, sometimes it's short and sweet. Sometimes that's what it is. And then you save that. That's the good appetizer. And then we'll see if he comes to DC. If he comes to DC, I'm going to make sure that he gets to see Black DC. So he's going to see, go to Ben's Chili Bowl, and he's going to go around the big chair. We're going to make sure he gets the full experience. We're going to introduce him to some go-go music. And we'll take them to the different spot. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all DC folks know exactly what I'm talking about. But even, but that's something I told him. If he does come to DC, then that's cool. But there are more and more people that we're able to reach because of these types of collaborations. I got invited by the tourism ministry of Nigeria to come to Nigeria. I'm going with the flow. Everybody tells me don't go to Nigeria, the same way they told me don't go to Ghana, don't go to Africa. I'm not naive now. So let me just be very clear. I'm not naive. But the one thing I know is that Nigeria is the wealthiest country in Africa. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa. And if it's the wealthiest and the most populous, everybody in 200 plus million people can't be bad. And so I'm going to look to celebrate my Nigerian brothers and sisters. I have a whole lot of Nigerian DNA. It's depending on whether it's Ancestry, 23andMe, or My Heritage. They, based on their sample size, it fluctuates a little bit, but Nigeria is like at the top of the list as far as genetic composition or genetic breakdown. So it's like in the 40% range. So it's a lot of Nigerian DNA, and understanding that, of course, the names of these countries were made up by the colonizer. I know all of that. I got it. But from the ethnic groups and all of that. So Nigeria holds, in that region, holds a special place. Also, being a descendant of the Mafa tribe in Cameroon. So that's another part of the genetic makeup. And that's the fascinating part about being in the African diaspora. You can explore these different places, and that'll be a small piece of you or a larger piece of you that can relate or connect to it. And when you embrace people, and I think that's the wonderful part about it, having Ghanaian DNA, if you will, and having Ivorian DNA, and having all of that being in the mix, what it does is you feel a connection. And I mean, again, like I said in the video with Wode, the reason why there's a connection with Ghana is because I spent so much time there, and culturally it's familiar, from the food it's familiar. But guess what? When I go to Nigeria, there's a hustle factor, because I was always trying to figure out where I had this hustle thing from. Anybody who knows me knows that the hustle thing, they don't even, it's instinctive. They're like, what has he got going? And they used to say, that's the Jamaican thing, but I think I have a feeling it's that Nigerian thing too. And So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, the hustle. I'm excited about seeing the hustle in Nigeria. And I think I'm gonna come back inspired, because every time I go to Africa, I come back inspired. I'm like, I can't complain about this or that. I said, because they got to hustle on a level that don't stop. They don't quit. They got it. And so and everybody in Ghana tells me that the hustle is like 10 times in Nigeria. So we'll see. And you all will see when you go on the journey with me. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm not going to keep everybody too long tonight. Again, make sure our journey, Wode, he's headed to 1 million. We're headed to 10,000. So I'm excited about every person that subscribes. From, I guess we're at like 95, approaching 9,500. I'm not sure where we're going to cross 10,000, but we're going to cross it soon. And we're going to do a party. We're going to celebrate. So for those who are out there watching, I want you to remember 10,000. All right. Remember 10,000. And remember the journey. I mean, because obviously we're here to go as far as we can go with it. So I have no, obviously the next milestone, the big one will be 100,000, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how it, you just go with the flow. That's what I'm saying. You go with the flow, and that's what it is. So I want to thank everybody for subscribing, sharing, liking. Get ready for some more amazing content, some more documentaries, some more off the wall things. I guarantee you, I'll make you laugh. I'll make you upset. I'm sure somebody will unsubscribe and resubscribe again. So just depending on how it goes down. I know me. I know. So I like I say, I call it how it is, but it's all done with love, and it's all done with making sure that we bridge the gap, and we tell our own stories. We tell our own narratives, and I believe the funding will come to continue to be able to doing that. And shout out to all of the people on the different social platforms with this same mission in mind. Everybody works hard. This is not easy to do. Please understand. People think they want to do this, but when you get into this YouTube space, everything is potential content. It's like you look and you see, like, oh, is that a potential? Oh wow, I didn't see. I'll give you this last example and I'm done. I was on a plane in Accra getting ready to fly to Kumasi. And it was the day this huge plane, I forget which country it was coming from. It's like one of the biggest planes in the world. And I looked out of the window. I said, wow, look at this. I said, this plane is huge. And something just said, record that. Just don't say a word. Just record it. And so I recorded about 50 seconds worth of it, of this big, huge plane in Accra, Ghana. And I just posted this huge plane in Accra, Ghana, maybe 50 seconds worth of it, and 40 some odd thousand people watched that little clip of this plane in Ghana. My point is, you never know, and sometimes you just, so that's what it's like, because a lot of people, yeah, I'm trying to be a YouTuber and all of that. Yeah, okay, you better get ready to work. I tell you, I have like multiple phones and editing things and stuff you never thought you would do. But the cool part about it is that you're reaching the world and you're touching people all over. And you never know how you're impacting people. And that's what it's all about. So again, shout out to all the YouTubers out there in social media platform, people who have like legitimate content, not just clickbait and simple things that are taking people down simple roads in their mind, but to all the people that are really endeavoring to help take people to another level, positive level, and whichever platform you've been given. So that's the deal. Listen, everybody, please don't forget to pick up the Adventures of Darren and Destiny children's book series. We want to keep them. This is how we bridge the gap with the children. If you want to join us for one of our Maximum Impact Travel tours, we have some coming up. So make sure you check out MaximumImpactTravel.com to see what dates we have going are coming up, and you can be a part of it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and we'll be back real soon. Talk to you.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.